can even skip the intro a little bit, but I'll do a quick one. Welcome to our home. Welcome to Guest Listed.
Today we get the gift basket.
Today we got Ari.
15 pounds of crouton.
So man, today, welcome to, like I said, this is the podcast, where we talk about pretty much everything music related. We're pretty laid back here. Quinn's got a bunch of questions, man. But first, I just want to say, how are you doing? How are you doing today?
How am I doing, man? Been super busy. I've been playing shows pretty much nonstop. Doing a lot of music production, which has been good. Honestly, doing everything in my power to stay busy, keep my mind right. Aside from that, man, everything's been good. What about you guys? How you guys been?
I'm cold.
Yeah? I'm freezing, man. I'm freezing, man. The Chicago weather is just, it's killing me, man.
So I gotta ask, though, because I know, we talk about the weather, we talk about Chicago. Tonight, I just want to kick this off because you're playing at this is a debut for you tonight,
This is
right?
a debut, man.
So let the people know, how long you've been DJing, man. Talk about your history a little bit. Give us the backstory and talk about this show tonight because I'm excited to hear about this club.
Yeah.
A little bit, how you got in and all that. So.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out Tim at Fame Nightclub. Tim, we love you. He actually booked me. Did you ever play at Space Camp?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
So over the summer, Tim messaged me on Instagram. I had known Tim. I would say I had known about Tim for a while now, and when I got that DM, super excited. Just because, as much as I love open format hip hop sets, I love playing electronic music. At the end of the day, Tim gave us a platform to ultimately play whatever genre of music we wanted. And as some of you may or may not know, I'm actually a genreless producer. So I will produce anything from trap music to dubstep to house, and essentially being able to have that opportunity to play whatever I wanted at Space Camp, which is really nice because Chicago especially, as you know, such a massive, massive house city. Obviously, Chicago is founder of house music at the end of the day. I love house music. I will forever love house music. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's my favorite genre to essentially play live, if that makes sense.
What is your favorite genre?
That's a good question. It's an open up.
I mean, dude, I listen to a lot of your music, man. And you, all different genres.
Yeah.
Your remixes are awesome.
Thank you.
We're gonna plug your SoundCloud and all your social media. Which genre is your favorite?
I would say at the end of the day, if I were to play one set, I always think about this question. If I were to play one set dedicated to one genre of music, it would definitely be I would say trap music. I would say artists like Boombox Cartel, Flosstradamus, artists like Wookie, people that I don't know, a lot of hip hop infused trap music is just there's something about it, man. Being at a music, if you guys have been at any music festivals, you guys know how to get down. There's something about
you getting aggressive.
Yeah.
Speaking his language.
Yeah, exactly.
I was listening to some stuff. I was actually really into the video fucking clip that you did.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, that was fucking heavy. So that I was actually gonna ask because asking your Mount Rushmore top 5 MCs, I think that's too big.
We don't want to go down there.
Right now, the 5 rappers right now.
5 rappers?
Yeah,
do you want me to list?
That you're on right now.
Oh, man.
Or if people didn't, you would think that people probably hadn't heard of them.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I actually just made a remix of Mod Sun's Kinda Like It Now. I just released it about 2.5 weeks ago. So that being said, I would say right now I'm really into that emo, hip hop, it's kind of that grungy trap, if that makes sense. Ian Dior, for example, absolutely killing it. The Kid Laroi, absolutely killing it right now. I would say artists that have a lot of melodic tones to the way they deliver their music. The acapellas that are heavy melodic focused, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I would also say, so I'd say Ian Dior, Kid Laroi, been fucking with obviously A$AP Rocky. I would say Listen, man, he's not releasing as much
anything,
music.
but he does, whether it's a feature or whatever it is.
It doesn't matter what he does.
I've even heard him on some fucking house tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just fucking around.
Yeah.
Old,
He does a lot of that. You know that Love Stick song? What's the name of that song? I think it might be called Love Stick. I'm not sure. Great song. Here, I'll pull it up real quick. One sec. It's. I think it's.
But yeah, but I do know that genre. I think as far as a category, I don't know what they would call it now, since it's so more like a mainstream thing. But back then they would call that like like the Young Leans and stuff like that. They would just call that cloud rap, like SoundCloud rap.
SoundCloud.
But it kind of they started to make their own lane so much that it kind of made people go, this kind of specifically sounds like a thing. All these artists have like this very specific sound, so they kind of put us a label as cloud rap. Then you got technically like emo rap, which Little Peep and stuff like that. And now it's just a clusterfuck of just people. Dude, I you know me, I like keeping on top of like genres and stuff like that, but Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm doing my goddamn long division. I'm trying to get my PhD in this shit.
100%. I think, like I said, right now, I would say like that grungy emo type of hip hop is definitely like more in the mainstream, if that makes sense. But I also like drill music, like G Herbo.
Yeah.
I love G Herbo. Obviously Dirk, man. Like all these guys coming out of Chicago, they've really been making waves.
Is it fucking insane to see where Dirk is now?
I can't even like wrap my head around.
Me neither. So Dirk has been around like literally since like Chief Keef.
Oh yeah,
2013, 2011, 2012.
Yeah, and he was always like relevant, but to see him like pretty much fucking honestly be like a pop star, he's like a fucking pop star.
He is really a pop star.
And still talking about the same shit. So I don't know how the fuck they like.
Well, he fell into the category of like, dude, that's today's culture though.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
100%.
Well, I would say two features. So it was literally, that
one was exploded.
I was just like, oh shit, I know what that is. And then like after that, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, man. 100%.
Now he's on TikTok.
Dude.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's how you know you made it. When you're on TikTok, he's like, okay.
Yeah, 100%. I would say like TikTok's the reason why a lot of these obviously artists are blowing up now. But I would say like the SoundCloud era, I miss that era of hip hop.
Oh yeah, it was a
Ski Mask.
Oh,
I love Ski Mask so much. Obviously Juice, like honestly, like something about Juice's passing, it didn't necessarily have like a massive impact on me, because I wouldn't say I was like a diehard Juice fan, but obviously I'll always respect his music. I remember when Mac passed away, like I legitimately cried that day, man. Not that he was like.
I didn't think I was gonna give it.
I was gonna say Max before that kind of period though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he isn't necessarily a part of the SoundCloud era, but just like something about Mac. I mean,
he falls into that like.
It was somebody that I fucking listened to, like fucking I remember because it was almost like a perfect storm. I don't know when you start college.
2015 is when I started college.
So we started. Well, at least me. I started 2011, and like that was right when like fucking
Sammy Adams, Mac Miller,
Sammy Adams.
I think Kids came out that fucking year. Yeah, I think Kids came out that fucking year.
That college rap,
and fucking everybody was like
Asher
bumping
Roth.
Everybody was bumping like frozen pizza and shit. Like,
I missed that.
And I had to be listening to him all the way then. I think that's why Juice WRLD was something, because he hasn't been around. He was around for a long time.
He was around.
He is local as shit.
Yeah. He was around for a long time, especially in Chicago. Like everybody knew about him. I remember, I think it was like 2018 or 2019. He actually performed at Joy District. Like he had a table there.
No shit.
Lil Bibby was there. G Herbo was there. They're just all chilling at the table.
I was just like signing.
Yeah. So like. Just like looking back at that, man, being able to experience that was pretty crazy.
Well, so let me ask you this, because I know we were talking about fame originally too. So the genre, are you going to be playing like that, like throwback hip hop or like your trap music tonight at Fame, or like what? Because like that, you just said that was your favorite.
It is for
if you had to pick one.
Nah, bro.
So now I gotta know.
I'm playing hard style all night.
At the end of the day, like
I don't know Fame. I've never been there.
I've never played there. I know Tim told me he wants me to focus more on house, hip hop. I'm all for that. I think at the end of the day, like being in Chicago, like as you guys know, like it's been getting dangerous recently, you know. So as far as like playing clubs, you got to be very, very careful about the type of music that you play out. I do like to produce like drill music. Obviously, like put a little EDM twist on it. That's kind of like, I'd say like that's kind of like a niche of mine, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a style that I like to do. Yeah, I know like obviously Floss Thomas used to do that, still does that. Boombox Cartel does that a lot.
Boombox was definitely sometimes I think they have like a lot more of like a Latin influence, and then in regards to what is it,
Boombox Cartel. The Boombox Cartel heavy, bro.
Like
they are trap.
Yeah.
I'm just mean like the
Have you
flavor
heard that?
because if you're gonna say like Floss is like their flavoring was something to be like hard style and more like European jump shit. So I don't really hear like because what I would describe some of the tracks I heard from you, like it's like drill. It's fun.
Yeah.
The best word I get is creepy. It's kind of creepy. It's like creepy sense.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, it's kind of scary me a little bit.
I do your style, but like I know you pull influences from, like you said, melodic, more future-y based. Kind of, like, I hear that.
Just like just hybrid. Like
I hear it. Yeah. You're true. You're for sure a true hybrid artist.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
At the end of the day, I don't want to be known, and I tell people this all the time. They're like, you know, if I'm gonna play at like Joy District, for example, they're like, okay, like I see that you're producing like dubstep and like trap music. Like, what type of music are you gonna play in a club environment? And most of the time, obviously, I'm always kept up to date with like all the newest releases, so I'm always obviously keeping my eye out for that as an open format DJ. But usually, what I like to do, at the end of the day, like I would say, if you really, really want to be a good DJ, it's all about making the girls sing. At the end of the day,
I agree. No, he's right. It's true, man.
Listen, I used to roll up to gigs with just a handful of Mariah Carey CDs.
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, man.
It's a DMV set. Hey, M&C now. It's Mariah Carey.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, I will legitimately play like Hips Don't Lie, and I'm telling you, I hear girls screaming like Gasolina. And,
we were talking about this the other day. Do you know what year that song came out in?
Too long ago.
What year did it come out?
Like 2002, 2003 maybe? Is that right?
Was it 2003, right?
Well, shit, you put me on the fucking spot. I want to say,
okay,
I want to say 2006.
We were talking about this because
I have a terrible story to come
I'm like sitting here, I'm like, man, dude, there's like timeless club songs. Like there's songs as a DJ. 04, okay.
Okay.
And this is what I was telling him. I'm like, I call them the like, what did I say? I call them like the safe zone song or the there's an actual term for it, but as a DJ, you know certain songs where you're like, if I play this shit's about to go off. Unless you're in fucking, I don't know, the middle of nowhere.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Gasolina is one of those songs.
It's one of those songs that just like, and that song that's, I forgot who it's by. It's like, all you ladies pop, yo, pussy, like that type of shit. Like, those throwbacks, man, I'm telling you, like, if you're a DJ, this is some advice. If you want to be a DJ, you want to learn, like, I guess, how to read a crowd, sticking with throwbacks, in my opinion, I was talking to Flynn about this. Shout out Flynn Nino.
Tell him.
My dog.
Tell him.
Love of my life. I'm going to marry you, Flynn, one day. I'm 100% serious.
We're going to put this clip at the way.
I'm glad.
He was fucking serious.
Now we have to tag him.
Yeah.
We're going to give a picture of him. I'm going to edit right here and put it right here just with us.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Facebook, metaverse, fucking 3D fucking
exactly.
hologram. Alright, this is one.
So I was at Flynn's crib last week. We were just chilling. It's like, man, like at the end of the day, like if you really have like a stack collection of music and they're all from like early 2000s, you don't have to ever update your club playlist again if you're gonna play like a 2-hour set.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I think if you're playing at certain clubs in the city or just anywhere in general, obviously every city, every location is going to have a different type of crowd. But you got to keep in mind, if you're playing pop music from the early 2000s, there's a likely chance people in their mid, late 20s, early 30s, maybe even 40s, are all going to recognize the types of music that you play. But if you are an open format DJ, for me, I like to be fresh. I like to always play new music. I'm always scouting, but at the end of the day, I think like to be a good DJ, obviously reading the crowd is honestly the most important thing. Being technical is also very important, but you also got to keep in mind that have your own originality, have your own twist as far as putting on a performance for other people.
We got a fucking like 2 swords now that Dave's gonna come out with.
Yeah.
Helmet on his head, like a storage round.
Yeah.
And he's got a samurai sword.
I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know about that. No,
I'm looking forward to it.
I was gonna compliment your outfit. This
Thank
is
you.
dope, man. This is some drip right here.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
I appreciate
stand up
it.
really quick. Do a quick little
Alright,
stand.
I'll
No, this is not, dude. This is something that But no, I agree, man. That's some real good advice, and you know, honestly,
You
I
guys are
think,
entertainers.
yeah,
You gotta get
no,
people-
but that's true.
especially
Early
if they
2000s.
need
110%.
Exactly.
There
I
is
gotta-
that stack of songs.
I got a battle chest whenever you need it, man. So I didn't start using Spotify until 2016.
Okay.
Because I didn't fucking trust them.
Okay.
So I have music that I've never had a computer or hard drive die on me. So I've been building the same music collection since I want to say 2005.
Yeah.
I've got LimeWire.
Me too, man.
I got
Me too.
LimeWire
LimeWire,
fucking
dude.
virus music.
Oh
on
my
there. I got the Bill Clinton thing. But like I've got like songs that
I
like
do not have
blink of an eye songs that you would be like, damn, I haven't fucking heard this in forever. And I just got it on my computer because when it was hot,
Yeah.
I fucking like this. Let me see this on fucking LimeWire.
So how long have you been DJing for though?
I've been DJing since 2014.
2014?
Yeah. Funny story. I was in Hebrew class. I'm Jewish. I'm Israeli. I was sitting in Hebrew class.
Which college, by the way? Sorry.
I went to the University of Arizona.
University of Arizona.
Yes,
That's
graduated
fine. Give me some
2019.
context.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
But I was sitting in Hebrew class, and you know, I'd been going to festivals for a while. I remember my first festival ever was Spring Awakening 2011 or 2012. So either the first or
It was
second
2012. I was there.
year. Soldier Field,
Yes.
the most wild party in the entire world, man. I'm not
Yes.
even exaggerating. I
Tiesto's
remember
headlining?
Tiesto's headlining.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my god, man! It's just like
I was there.
I'm gonna you know rewind a little bit. I'm gonna talk about my first festival experience, just like going there. You know, I've always been like passionate about electronic music. I would say like the Bloody Bee Roots really got me hooked.
Yeah.
Obviously Dead Mouse. I don't know if you know who Infected Mushrooms.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I have their plugin.
Infected, really?
Yeah, do you have the wider plugin?
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. So like art and funny story actually. They're Israeli too.
Oh, they are?
So like my buddy, I have a lot of family out in Israel.
Uh-huh.
My buddy that I had known through my dad actually, he kind of like, you know, when you have family and like they introduce you to like their best friends, like son or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's essentially what happened. And you know, I've always been in the United States for the most part. I've been to Israel 8 times. But like one day, you know, when Facebook was really popping off back in the day, it was like 2009. Me and my buddy, who was in Israel at the time, just kept sending me all this music. He first of all sent me, what's his name? DJ Blend. You know who DJ Blend is?
The guy who used to wear the mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh! Yes!
Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
That was the earliest form of Melbourne Bounce I
Yes.
heard of.
Yes.
I was like, dude, this guy
Yeah.
rips.
I
Yeah,
fucking
I know.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
dude.
for real. So,
Holy shit!
So-
I have a childhood fear of Chucky. So like the music
Me
was
too,
hot, but
bro.
I was
Chucky, literally, I'm not even exaggerating.
Alright,
It's
let's
nightmares.
Okay.
I cried whenever it's Chucky, bro.
This is why I don't like Chucky. This ties into a bunch of different things. I don't like small, evil, compact shit.
Yeah.
So demon children, small ghosts, dolls,
Horrifying.
So,
Get 'em out of the way.
I'll never forget. Like I thought, like I had this behind me. They weren't making Chucky movies.
Yeah.
I'll never fucking forget it. I walk into the theater to see God knows what. It's like Pokemon first movie. I don't fucking know what. But they had this back in had the real big, like the big cardboard things.
Yeah.
See the Chucky. I'm like, oh god. I'm like my life. But actually, watching that fucking movie actually chilled me out a little bit because it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's not that fucking
Bro,
scary.
you and I are the same person.
I don't fucking like no evil.
But DJ Blend brought that mask.
Yeah,
exactly.
Scary as shit.
Exactly.
And then once the fucking actual owners were like, yo, you know what mask it is, switch it up.
Yeah.
The mask you switch it up, it was just like, that seems scary.
Exactly. No, I have a really, really funny story. Getting off topic. That's what I'm saying. You're not even saying. I went into, you know, Spencer's, the store.
Oh, of course.
With all the dildos and all that good stuff.
Shout out Spencer's.
Spencer's.
Partnership,
We love you. We love you. Went into Spencer's. I was like 7. This is when like the seated Chucky came out, right?
I already know this is going.
I went into the store and there was just a fucking Chucky doll. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Like my vocal cords, like I'm kidding, but you know, at the same time, like my mom had to carry me out of the store, and ever since then I refused to even look at Chucky. Until about like I'd say like 10, 11 years ago, I just like Googled Chucky.
It was just like,
I'm a face right now and put on my seatbelt. I looked at Chucky and I was like,
okay, Stockholm syndrome yourself.
I stared at him.
So wait, did you see him or DJ Blend first? Like how?
I saw Chucky. This is like.
So when you saw DJ Blend, you were like, man, I hate this.
It was like a few years
later. It was like
this guy.
I've already dealt with this fear, but this is uncomfortable.
This music's okay, but fucking hate it.
Exactly.
I have not thought of DJ Blend for not even a fucking moment.
I know.
Maybe more than
Well, that's where everything loops in.
Holy shit.
This is where everything loops in. So first year or second year of Spring Awakening, DJ Blend is performing.
At Spring Awakening?
At Spring Awakening.
2012.
2011 or 2012. I don't remember which
He was
year.
out that year.
He was.
What?
So listen to this story.
Drugs.
I was into electronic music, but I didn't like, I wasn't fully invested in it. Like I was like maybe like what? 14, 15 at the time. I had known who obviously Tiesto is. I knew Zed. I knew like, you know, Calvin Harris. These guys are up and coming, right?
Yeah.
But I went.
Played that year too.
Who?
Borgor?
Of course. Yeah. In the tent. I was there.
Yeah.
That shit was wild.
Yeah.
So I went to Spring Awakening initially, like really at the end of the day, like I knew a few other artists like Bassneck or two, but I really wanted to see DJ Blend. We go into the festival grounds, and DJ Blend was the first artist that was playing. And like
Main stage?
No, it was like the side stage.
Side stage?
I don't remember the name of the stages, but I like.
Anger.
Yeah, no. That's honestly a great stage name. But like, the second I got into that crowd and I was just like with all my buddies, like you just kind of like look. I'm sure you guys have been to multiple festivals. You look at the people aside that are sitting beside you, and you just like feel the energy of the crowd. Obviously, like just something about it really drew me. But also, you got to keep in mind, I didn't really find anything that I was passionate about at the time. You run into people all the time that are like, you know, so money hungry at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, you know, those people that are money hungry. I'm not saying this is applying to everybody, but a lot of the time, at least people that I've run across, very money hungry. They're not necessarily passionate about anything. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing. You know, at the end of the day, like you are who you are. If money can be a form of passion at the end of the day too, you know?
You fucking capitalist.
Yeah.
From Cap who? Elon Musk is gonna come.
No, keep it going.
He loves this shit. He doesn't
So like, I mean, I'd done sports in high school. Like, I did gymnastics. I was absolute garbage at it. I did track and field, absolute garbage at it. But I was kind of forced upon my parents. My parents were like, listen, if you want to go to college, like, you gotta get like involved with like extracurricular activities. At the end of the day, like, it looks good when you're applying to school.
Anime club.
That's awesome.
No, I did robotics, but I did
still
anime
awesome.
club for a long time too.
Still awesome. So like at the end of the day, like I was doing these sports, but I wasn't actually into them. I just kind of did them because I feel like I needed to build a resume of myself for when applying to colleges, for applying to jobs in the real world, 9 to 5 industry. After Spring Awakening, man, there was just something about my passion for music that really evolved. I'd always been, like I said earlier, like I've always been into hip hop, always been into like grunge, pop punk, like Day to Remember, All Time Low. Like, I went through an entire phase with those guys. Love those guys more than anything. Still listen to them to this day. But there's something about like electronic music that really just drew me. Essentially, fast forwarding to Hebrew Club, this is like 2 years later. My buddy, he wasn't my good friend at the time, but like we were classmates. He said, he's like, hey man, like I know you go to a lot of shows, a lot of festivals, and you've been kind of, you know, getting your feet in the water. He's like, I'm starting this thing called DJ Club at the high school. And I was just like, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah, bro.
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, at your high school.
At my high school.
That's crazy. That's
literally
awesome.
I'm not even exaggerating. It was the best opportunity. I think every high school needs something. Like, obviously you have music classes, but at the end of the day, like, the more versatility you provide as far as like the fine arts go, like DJ Club, like who would, like at a high school, you know what I mean?
You know, I have to say that's amazing, and your story actually should, like, you know, that I feel like should be actually something that a lot of high schools.
Yeah, because ultimately, you know, we're still kind of working off of the building blocks of old archaic systems and stuff.
Yeah.
Music composition is changing.
Yeah.
There is a damn near you can't avoid the technical aspect, the electronic aspect.
Yeah.
Whether it's the
it's not
equipment to
even, it's not
record
even
on.
like, it's not even just like electronic music. It's just like, obviously being a DJ, so there's so many things you can do with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you've got a music class, of course, even if they're classically trained, teach the kids how to fucking use Pro Tools.
Exactly.
I'll say this, I agree with that 100%.
So
because
exactly.
the high schools, my high school didn't offer that. Absolutely not. I don't know any high school that offered that in my area.
We didn't get that. I didn't get that till college because we had a DJ.
That's awesome.
Music vibe tribe.
Nice.
We didn't have. I mean, I think we had certain like communities, but we never had like dedicated classes or stuff to that.
They had Grizz, like right when he was starting.
At ISU?
Yeah, he came. I'm pretty sure it was Grizz. This was
awesome.
2013, 14.
Really?
Starting at fucking Stony Montana, Josh Ramos.
Okay.
Oh, really? I believe he came out and sang during that time too. I want to say, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, it was silent disco set up. You had 3 DJs. I fucking submitted my submission like a minute after it was all done, and like a bunch of the fucking people on the board were like asking me for like IDs for the track. I was like, fuck, I knew it was good because I knew back then everybody was kind of just pretty much just playing fucking trap. That's all everybody was really doing.
Trap music was the hottest in my college too. I remember just kind of piggybacking off of, you know, your story a little bit too. Trap music especially. And we didn't have any of that DJ shit, but I remember when I went to Iowa State, dude, immediately there was like a community for the DJ.
For sure.
Oh, dude, 100%.
For sure.
And that is when I think trap music was at its height too. I think it was like 2015.
Yeah.
Like 2014, that one Floss and all those.
Whenever, literally, we have a song. Whenever Original Dawn came out, it's literally that.
Yeah.
I don't know about everyone else.
Remember that song Prison Riot with the
Prison Riot, yeah.
I think it was.
It is
Floss?
Prison Riot.
With Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That, man, that's...
Blew my fucking mind.
I should say, you know, being like, obviously I still go to festivals and shows as much as I can. I am busy. I'm working, DJing, you know, anywhere from
I see you, your shows are all over.
Thank you,
how
man.
you do it, man. No, dude, I give you a lot of credit, man.
Thank you.
And in fact, we'll give you, I'll say this too, you guys need to follow him because you have shows every week.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I would say I'm playing anywhere from 4 to 8 shows a week.
Yep.
It's amazing. I mean, I'm obviously so thankful for the opportunity, but as far as like electronic music goes, say bass music specifically, to I guess add to your point about Prison Riot, like if you listen to other people's mixes on, you know, 1001 track list, right?
1001.
1001.
Right.
I say 1001. That's good, dude. I love it. Yeah, I go by 1001. I always have.
That's good. No, you're good.
Yeah.
First time I heard
if
that.
you go to genres and you go to like dubstep or trap,
Yep.
you listen to like Hero Bus, for example. artist of mine that I really, really
I
admire.
fuck with them too. Yeah.
He makes so many edits, and like the pre-vocal drop to Prison Riot, like act up like a motherfucking Prison Riot, like that is still like one of the most popular pre-vocal drops to ever exist. Same with like Zomboy's Like a Bitch, if you've heard that song.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
And like, it's just like, it's crazy. Like, obviously at the end of the day, like, Floss, if you really think about it, they're really the pioneers in my opinion. You got like
Floss showed everybody where the door was.
Exactly.
Bauer kicked it.
Yeah, Bauer.
Harlem Shake is the thing that.
Bauer. Stooky Sound, if you know Stooky Sound. And Uzi.
For sure.
Never forget about Uzi.
The fucking collection.
I agree with that.
It's just a fucking mess because he would just title his EP. It's like fucking Uzi 18. I'm like 18.
Yeah.
He dropped 7 yesterday.
Yeah.
What the fucking 11 at, bro?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. No, 100%.
I remember when. Well, this is 2 moments. I remember the first party I ever went to, and it was literally like somebody flipped the light switch, and everybody was playing trap.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs to a party, and they were fucking playing trap. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Where did I miss a meeting?
Yeah.
But I also remember the first time. This wasn't even the Floss song. It's so it's Original Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the song, it kind of has like hip hop 808s on it.
Yeah.
And that was hearing that song at a fucking house party. Funny house party that somebody on my floor got. He woke up in the morning, handcuffed to a fucking couch. I don't know how that happened.
Trap music,
maybe.
Yeah. But
That's
I remember being
That's
like
crazy.
fucking. Cause I knew like I was like, da, 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 but I
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
This is an EDM song. You can make it hip hop.
100%.
So to see track and stuff start building up, I was
That
like,
infusion,
everybody kind of had their fucking big one.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the thing
Whatever
is,
happened to Moomba?
well, I still love Moomba. I still love Moomba. I will forever love Moomba.
Yeah.
Moomba's okay, but dude, Moomba was after trap. I think we forget that.
But it was
after trap.
really close. Like
Yeah.
Kevin Francis and stuff. It was
It was
real
like immediately after
Well, you
trap.
gotta keep in mind, like, there's been so many variations of each genre. I would say, like, minimal, like, you know, you got guys like Uzi, Stooky Sound, like, that, I would say, kind of. It kind of came. Oh my god, wow. So I was gonna say, that kind of came, that style of trap music kind of came out around the same time as Moomba. Like, as far as like that style of trap, you know? But then you got like Prison Riot, for example. That was more so like 2015. I would say that song, as well as like that song with Troy Boy, Soundclash, I think it is. That style really became prominent in like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, 100%.
And like people say, like, you know, a lot of the time, you know, trap music is very different, which it completely is. Now it's all, in my opinion, very hybrid. Especially in 2022.
Well, that's the genre, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would call hybrid trap.
And I had kind of felt, because I'm listening to fucking just about fucking anything I get my hands on, but I definitely kind of stepped a little bit away just from EDM in general.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I first found out about like Gravedigger and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Rampage by Quicks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Quicks.
No, Lambo by Quicks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I could have a whole project about Quicks.
Quicks was like hours just
His
about shit.
production is insane.
It's fucked up.
Like,
it's insane.
Probably one of the best, honestly, in my opinion, one of the best producers of the 2000s.
His mixes are just
Clean.
so clean and crisp. Like,
the sound design and everything is
crazy.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there are like technical ways to describe it, but like when I first heard Lambo, it was just, it sounds like a jump. It sounds like to me.
Man.
So whenever if you got that fucking jump rope sub on your shit, I'm like, all right, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, no.
This is gonna get moved right up to the top of my list.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say too. I know you had a couple of questions that we were pulling up.
Hell yeah.
I found a TikTok because I want to figure out what the fuck this argument is about.
Argument.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
And then after that, I had a question about highest fuck entertainment because I know you got to go.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity to go out to Cali.
I'll talk about that.
Yeah. We want to hear about that, man.
difficult argument. I just need some context because I don't know what's going on.
It's on his TikTok?
Is it on mine? Oh, I know exactly what you're about to pull up. I know exactly what you're about to pull up.
Because it's like so short.
Oh my god, bro. You did your fucking research.
Right.
You fucking.
No mustard. Then we're gonna do Euro sandwich.
Let me see. Can I see?
Oh my god, no.
Oh my god.
What is this? Let me see this. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Because at the end of the video, I was like, I dare you to say the wrong thing.
Like 2:14 a.m. summertime shot. Alright, yeah. Alright. Please.
I cannot believe you. Y'all did some digging. First of all, that is my best friend, my brother, my best friend, like my family. Aiden Esker, love that kid more than anything in the entire world. I've known that kid since fucking A. Since I was like 12, man. We're still best friends to this day. We hang out almost every day whenever we get the opportunity. I'm gonna give so much props to that kid. But anyways, that video was after my set at the Dime. Have you guys been to the Dime before?
The Dime, is that, was that another, it was also another.
LA Social.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
so I have.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, been there. Yep.
So here's the thing. I would say around last year when we had like shutdown, you know how like some venues allowed people in, but you had to like wear masks fully or whatever. We would always, like our spot for that time, because like I wasn't getting nearly as many bookings just based on like, you know, some clubs wouldn't even have DJs because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But the Dime, however, Bill Fon, I love you, shout out Bill Fon. Bill Fon would always book me at the Dime, like 3-4 times a week. And we would go there, we would go to the Dime, and they would give us free bottles, like me and all my homies, and all we'd have to do is tip. So like, I would be DJing here, and the or the table that my friends would get would be right here. So like, I could reach out, and we would get like Casamigos, we'd get like, just really like nice liquor. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. We would get ratchet.
As you should.
We would get ratchet at the Dime. Obviously, all due respect, always keep it professional while you're DJing. Always make sure you know your limit. And this applies to everything, man. Professionalism is super important. But we would get pretty fucked up at the Dime. Obviously,
This has been PBS, your PBS announcement for today.
Exactly.
See the wrong
I
Don't
would
get fucked up.
There you go, you're good.
I would, so like obviously I drink, I get pretty hammered, but not hammered to the point where it's like, I can't control myself, you know, my transitions are bad, like it would never ever get to that level. My friends on the other hand, they would go off. And next to the Dime, it's no longer open unfortunately, I think it shut down because of COVID. There was like this 4 a.m. Euro spot. And like, my buddy Aiden, if you're listening, if you're gonna listen to this, I'm gonna send this to you. You gotta stop ordering so much food, man. This dude, we go out to restaurants, like whether it's like McDonald's, fucking Wildfire, wherever we go. This dude, I'm not even exaggerating, can go to McDonald's and spend $100 on food.
Oh my God.
This dude will order, he'll go up to the cashier or the waiter and he'll be like, I want 10 orders of chicken nuggets, give me 7 orders of fries, I want a McFlurry. I'm just naming an example.
It's like San Andreas.
Exactly. So we go to that Euro spot at 3 in the morning, as you can see in the video, this dude just ordering. He's not even thinking, he's not even looking at the prices of anything. He's just ordering, he's like, I want like a hot dog, I want a Euro, I want cheese fries. This dude looks at the bill after and it's like $60. And he's just like, yo guys, like, can you help me pay for this? I'm like, Aiden, you didn't ask anybody if you wanted it, you just ordered for yourself and expected like
Somebody to help you.
Oh my God, dude.
Anyways, love you, Aiden. That's the story.
Wow. Well, that puts some context to that. The cashier looked like he was having a good time.
He was having a great time, man.
I would prefer Dave do something like that. And we'll go, especially if Dave didn't drive at night, and we'll be ordering. He's just in the back screaming.
Yeah.
Disagree.
That's how it be, man.
They ask them if they got sandwiches in there. It's like,
At the end of the day,
What
like,
you gonna do, man?
at the end of the day, like, you know, for me personally, like, I was telling Dave, I was telling Dave, like, I'm super passionate about fitness and just like living a healthy lifestyle. So at the end of the day, like, if you're doing music, at least, you know, I'm not doing music full time right now. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't say it's full time, but I also have a full time job at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, it is full time, but it doesn't feel like full time because I'm so passionate about it at the end of the day. But for me to do 2 full-time jobs, obviously things get really, really stressful. Yeah. Especially, you know, I work in the logistics industry, which is insanely stressful. I like my job, but it's definitely an overwhelming industry. You gotta stay sharp all the time. Like, you gotta make sure you're eating right. You gotta make sure you're going to the gym. Taking care of yourself is, especially if you want to pursue music full time. Do not ever let that, I guess, cross, or what's the term called, where it just kind of like
interferes.
Yeah, just like don't let it don't
crash out, burn out.
Yeah, don't let like always keep that thought in the back of your head, if not the forefront of your head, because like if you're not taking care of yourself, you will crash so hard in this music industry, man. That is one tip that I have for, you know, up and comers, people that want to make it in music full time or even half time, man. Like, I mean, there are times I played at Hush last weekend. Hush is a great spot in River North. I had to play till 6 in the morning.
It's long, man.
No,
It's a long set. It's a long set. Yeah, and like, you know, I started at Rock Bar right before that.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Back
played,
to back.
yeah, back-to-back sets. Obviously, like, we're taking a few tequila shots here and there.
Yep.
Obviously, like, go ahead, have fun, like, do your thing, be responsible though. Like, I'm not like, obviously, yes, I party, I like to have a good time.
Yep.
But it's all about balance, you know, like, you could drink three nights a week when you're playing the shows, right? But if you're not going to the gym the next day, you're not eating right, you're not hydrating, like, then you're gonna run into some serious issues. And like, there have been times, I mean, like, when I first started getting in the industry, like, I would go out, I'd say 5-6 nights a week going out to network. When I saw you at Joy District that one time with Flynn, I mean, you're really putting yourself out there, and it's very it's tough on your body. But I would say also mental health is super important. Something I love about Chicago that I was very, very worried about initially was, you know, I was going through a rough patch, I'd say about like 3-4 months ago. It was like the lowest my depression had been. And like, I was like, shit, like if I call in and I say like, hey man, like I need to take off, like I'm worried about, you know, my reputation as an artist. I'm worried about like, oh, well, Ari just canceled. He canceled 3 shows this weekend. Is it even worth reaching out to him again? But it came to a point where it's just like, man, I was playing nonstop.
Yeah.
I was nonstop playing. I was coming home 6 in the morning. And then I'd have to work Monday through Friday, my full-time job. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot, man.
I'd sleep like 2-3 hours max a night. So you know what? I hit a burning point. I was completely burnt out. I didn't want to go to the gym, and I'm passionate about going to the gym. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like I try to go 6-7 days a week. But you know, I told myself, I got up one day and I'm like, you know what? As much as this is gonna hurt me, I think I need this for my mental health. I reached out to all the guys as far as promo goes, people that are booking artists for shows, and I said, listen man, I'm gonna be completely upfront with you because I respect you. I'm not gonna bullshit, I'm not gonna give you an excuse. Like, I'm really, really low right now, and I legitimately need time for myself. And like, you know, like, you guys know, like, if you guys are DJs, like, for me, I'm the type of guy that gets pleasure out of pleasuring others as far as like musically, you know, whatever the case may be. So when you're DJing,
Word that the right way.
exactly.
Hey, you sweet. What's it out? I didn't want to.
I know what you meant.
I was like, I can hear the Superman theme.
I already see the comments.
Like the record scratch. Like,
I already see the comments just being like, oh, he's pleasuring others. But
exactly. Until the next time. No, world star pleasurer.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So like, lost my train of thought.
No, like you were in that low place.
Yeah.
No,
So I was in that low place. I knew that if I continued to ultimately play shows that just kept me feeling this way, as far as like, there was a point like I didn't even look forward to playing the shows. I didn't even look forward like to pretty much anything. All I wanted to do was just watch Netflix, lay in bed with my girlfriend, play with my cat, like, you know what I mean? Just do nothing, man.
I feel like all DJs have been there.
Yeah.
Like if you're a DJ, like
for sure.
Like
especially the open format.
Yeah, because that's tough, man.
It's very tough.
It's tough, dude.
So, you know, like I said, as far as like I have so much respect for the nightlife industry in Chicago. I don't really know how it is in other places. I did live out in Arizona. I played there for 4 years, and I would say for the most part, everybody was understanding for mental health, but I also wasn't playing like 6 to 8 shows a week.
Yeah.
I was playing like maybe 1 or 2 shows a week, and it was like, it's very doable, you know what I mean? Like 2-hour sets. Chicago is like 2-hour set minimum for the most part.
Yep.
But nevertheless, these guys, like when I reached out to them, I sent them like a paragraph, you know, explaining, kind of pouring my heart, and I was expecting like, obviously like I expected them to like be somewhat understanding, but like the amount of hospitality and the amount of understanding that I received back was just like, it was mind blowing. It was like, I was like shocked. They were like, listen man, take as much time as you need. Like we will always have you in the rotation. Like we will always know who you are. You're very persistent. You're always, you know, you're persistent. You're always coming out to support other artists. And just, you know, all these really, really nice things. And it really made me feel good. And it also made me realize that like, if you guys need a mental break, I don't know how it is for other people that might be working in corporate, but like in the nightlife industry, I would say like, ultimately like you're gonna definitely have to grind at first. You're definitely gonna have to go out and network a lot. If you're trying to be an open format DJ, I should specify. For artists who primarily specify in like music production, it all really depends on like which direction you want to take that in. Because like artists like Porter Robinson, for example, you think Porter Robinson's gonna go out and just like want to play like a club set, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like Porter shows
performance and experience.
Yeah,
at this point, it's a fucking experience.
Right? Porter performs music because he is so passionate about making music at the end of the day. I would say the show obviously is probably the best experience ever, but the reason he's playing his own shows is because he's making such quality music. Mm-hmm. For others like myself, I am passionate about producing music. I think it's fun. It's a great way for me to obviously express myself, but it's also a great way for me to kind of get away from things, because, you know, being in the nightlife industry, constantly on your phone, constantly checking messages, going on Instagram, stalking people, like just saying like, hey man, like reaching out to like promoters and like networking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're producing and you're in the studio, Dave, I'm sure you know, dude, you won't check your phone for 3 or 4 hours.
I put it in the other room.
Literally, like it's the most like insane thing in the entire world. Like even like I'll have my phone in my pocket, I won't even dare to take it out. It's not even like I want it. I don't even want to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
you don't need to.
You don't need to.
Yeah, especially when you have a good beat or something you just are vibing to.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that like if you're an open form or if you're aspiring open format DJ, you're definitely gonna have to grind a lot at first. You're gonna have to be facey, as they say. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to go out. You're gonna have to network. Yeah. One word of advice is that this is when I first moved back from Chicago, from Arizona. You know, obviously I turned 21 in Arizona, so I wasn't out in Chicago yet. I didn't really know how to break into the nightlife scene. I made the mistake of going ahead and just messaging people on Instagram, and that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you up front, the way to really break into the industry. And I was watching this, Ghastly.
Yep.
Ghastly has a YouTube channel. He was giving, I think it was like 10 to 15 tips on how to break into the industry. The number one way to break into the industry, whether it's, let's talk open format right now, because music production is completely
so
different. It's
separate.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah.
Do not make connections in the industry, make friends in the industry.
Yeah.
Like, people are out in Chicago, for example, because they want to meet other people. It's not, oh, I feel obligated to meet other people. It's like, for some people it might feel that way. Like for me, I would say I'm an introvert at the end of the day. But once you actually start meeting people that have the same passion as you, it's like, there's something motivating about it. And just like, for example, I saw Flynn play at Prison yesterday for Wookiee. And like, I wanted to be there. I wanted to go and just stand behind him and watch him play, you know? Like, shit like that. Like, if you find the right crowd of people that are your people at the end of the day, like, it's the best feeling in the entire world.
It's priceless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What time is it, by the way? We really got lost in it.
No, you're good, man. I was gonna say, I know you got one or two more final thoughts.
I think
We'll cut it
around
at
everything.
We'll cut it at 9.
Yeah, I think.
We're having a blast, by the way.
I told you, dude.
I wish I could say water and shit.
I told you, man. Sometimes you just get lost in the
I got one more.
All right, the big one.
Because I didn't know.
And then after that, we wanted to roll out and drop us a promo because I know you got stuff coming up, you know. So, quick, go ahead and ask that.
Do this real quick.
Yeah.
Best college party you've ever spun at.
Oh my god. You're a legend.
Okay,
You guys. Okay.
Hey, don't worry, dude. This is episodes too. This is not gonna be the only one.
I was gonna say, like me and Maximo Quinones, or like me and Flynn.
Max is coming, Flynn.
We'll pop out. Like, let's get like a big squad.
Dude, yes.
Next time you show up,
We'll
I'll have
have
your
more
social
mics.
security card number.
Yeah.
I found everything.
I'll tell you the craziest. Are you saying party? Just any party?
College party. College
Oh
house
my
party.
God.
College house party.
So
That's what I
You
do.
went to a good college.
I went to a great
I
college.
almost went to Arizona State.
Arizona State is like, what did it be?
They're both ASU, U of A, both crazy schools. The best time, the most beautiful women in the entire fucking world, man. It's like a whole other country.
I totally believe
Another world. It's like you're in Disneyland, bro. So one night, I kind of had like my own thing in college. I was never in Greek life, but at U of A it was very strict on Greek life. Like, if you weren't in a fraternity, you could not go to all the crazy parties with all the hot girls. You couldn't go, like, you'd have to like go to like just different parties that weren't Greek life affiliated. But like all the
Unless you're DJ.
yeah, but all the really fun people were in Greek life. I never really considered myself that type of person. I'm more like, you know, I just want to make my own friends. I want to be in my own circle. Like, I don't want to. Listen, people are paying to be in Greek life, which is totally fine. It's just not my scene at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've been DJing for a few years at that time. So my way of partying was just DJing at all the fraternities on campus.
March Madness.
Yeah.
That every year March Madness.
Yeah.
That's how I got started too, man.
15 girls in the same sorority.
Can you play Animal by Kesha?
Oh yeah, the girl Stacy already came and asked me to play Animal. Yeah, you did the routine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't play it when I was here. Now I'm here. Play it again.
Play the fucking happy hardcore.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The cops call.
So, like, it was like a Wednesday night or something. I was chilling.
On Wednesday?
No, the party wasn't on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The party was on Thursday.
Oh shit!
This is the wildest party
No.
Alright, let's hear the story. Go ahead. I'm like,
Thursday.
I'm not even exaggerating, man. So, I get a text from one of the social chairs. Not gonna name fraternities, but one of the social chairs texted me. He's like, "Hey, at this fraternity, we're having a joint fraternity party. That means 2 fraternities are throwing."
Yep, they do the I forgot what they call them, but I know that they would do it like a fraternity or sorority. They do like a party.
Yeah, they do that too. They have these things.
Or like 2 separate fraternities.
2 frats.
Holy shit!
shit. What the fuck?
And it was at the biggest house, like the biggest fraternity house on campus. They're like, yo, looking for a DJ tonight. Tomorrow, what's your plans looking like? And I'm just like, shit. I was gonna probably just sit at home and be in my meat. Just kidding. Anyways, so I get the text. I'm like, sure, yeah, like I'll bring my equipment. I'll set up. I wasn't expecting too much. It was around like I'd say like 11 o'clock. Started getting set up. Then all of a sudden, like, you know how when you're playing a show and like you're just kind of playing like, I don't know, like just laid back, chill vibe,
the vibes,
maybe some hip hop, like nothing too energetic. I just hear like an echo of voices. I was like, okay, like people are starting to show up. It wasn't like 5 people. It was like a swarm of people.
All at once.
Like it was crazy. Like people were fucking like everyone's shirts. Like all the guys had their shirts off. Like girls are just twerking on each other. And we had these things at U of A. If you went to the University of Arizona, you know what Fleshman's is. It's the most disgusting alcohol in the entire world.
Fleshman's?
It's called Fleshman's.
It sounds gross.
It's plastic. You know what Pop Off is? Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like just
sounds like.
It's just disgusting.
Is it vodka?
It's like vodka.
It sounds like Hawkeye. That's what we had in Iowa.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's atrocious, but it's so cheap. So they bought like fucking I don't know how like maybe like 100 or 2 handles for all I know.
Jesus.
And
Sounds like
everybody gets a handle when you walk in the party. What the fuck?
it was just crazy, and like people were just getting naked everywhere, and I was just like, I'm gonna do my thing, man. I'm just here to play music. You know what I mean?
I think you DJ'd Bohemian Grove, bro.
Yeah,
I agree. That was a cold thing. Yeah.
I agree. I really can't. I'm trying to think. There were like fist fights that started breaking out too. It was wild, man.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. Yes.
And then at the frat house.
Yes.
Damn.
And then the police showed up because it was just too wild.
Yeah.
Everyone gets kicked out. This is around like I'd say like 1:30 in the morning. After I'm packing up all my shit, I go up to the security guard. I'm like, hey man, like, you have a good time? He's just like, fuck no, I didn't have a good time. I was just babysitting. He's like, this is by far the craziest fraternity party I've ever seen. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, like we were doing like head counts. There was like about 1,000 people like in this fucking mansion house.
Oh my god.
Like I'm not exaggerating. It was crazy, man.
Oh my god.
It's crazy.
And then then that turned into the movie known as Project X,
Which is a great movie.
Yeah.
Which was actually filmed at that party.
It was filmed.
Actually, I don't know if you noticed, he was in the movie.
Oh my god.
10 minutes and 20 seconds right there. I mean, yes, did our research.
Well, hey, listen, give us, we're going to do a little outro here. I want you to, first of all, thanks for being on the podcast,
Thank you guys
man.
for having
Thank you
me.
for believing in our dreams.
I'm like I said, this is obviously we're going to have more episodes.
Hell
You're
yeah.
going to be brought back once we kind of get all these edited. But
Yeah.
I want you to, we're just going to roll out the red carpet. Tell us what you got coming up. I know you're playing Fame tonight.
Yeah.
What's next in terms of promo, music production? What do you want to tell your fans, people?
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff cooking up actually. 2 weeks from now, I'm making my debut in Indianapolis at NB Nightclub. So excited. Playing from I think 12 to 4 in the morning.
Let's go.
And then the next day, on the 12th of February, I'm driving back from Indianapolis and playing at Base Station for the Valentine's Day Massacre. Get your tickets.
Oh,
yeah, that's going to be good.
It's going to be crazy.
Travis and Marco.
Yeah.
So we love those guys.
Marco, Travis, and Lee, if you know EDM Chicago.
Oh, yeah, Charlie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll put me on. I'm going to be playing, I am playing at the EDM Chicago stage, which I was informed was more so house music, but I was like, being an open format artist, I want to play whatever I want.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a variation of bass house, just like heavy bass house, and some trap music I'm going to throw in there too. As far as releases go, on April 13th, I have a release on Festival Trap, which is an awesome record label.
Hell yeah.
My song Whiplash is coming out then. Just got some songs in the works. I haven't decided if I wanted to release on records or release independently. I'm unsure at this point, But I do want to start getting some collabs down if you ever want to link up with me. Yeah.
You heard it here first. Let's
do
get
it,
it.
man.
I'm down, dude. I'm
You're
down.
That's pretty much.
I got
just
a couple of ideas that we can go back and forth, or send me some
Dude, we
stuff.
had some bass house and
Dude, yeah,
one of the sections just pure trap music, like drill trap music.
100%.
That'd be sick.
All the breakdowns.
That's what I'm saying. Is like bass house. There's not like, obviously you got guys like Abstract that like really incorporate trap music.
Yep.
Like drill is a completely different genre. I think it's just like there's something about the energy of drill music.
There's something to break that down. I was
It
telling
fits
you,
in bass
I was
house.
telling
Yeah,
they
it does.
do a bass house juke record.
Dude,
I don't know what that I don't know what the fuck
Just
it sound like because I've never heard it.
Just play it by ear, man. Yeah. Yeah.
you heard it here first.
I'm gonna bully you until you make it.
It's gonna.
I'm just gonna tell everybody what bass house.
I'll fucking email you some shit right now.
Hell yeah.
When you get off, man.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me. I seriously had a blast.
Dude, like I said,
We should get a bunch of people on here. We should get like a big group.
Round
of guys.
table.
Round table.
Yeah.
Have you seen Actors Round Table?
Oh yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
They got like it's fucking everyone, man. It's fucking crazy.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, that's a wrap.